Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana, gracefully Key, if you will. Um, if you're returning, hey, thanks for continuing to watch my video. If you are new here, I hope you find something in my video that you like and makes you want to come back for more. So, this is my March wrap-up slash my March check-in. So, of course, at the beginning of the month, I was very excited to start the month of March because the month of March is Kidney Disease Awareness Month, and I stated in almost all of my videos, I am a kidney warrior. I'm on dialysis. I've had 2 kidney transplants, all the things. And I started out excited about this month because I advocate on Facebook and talk about it the whole month, just educating as well as doing other things. But the reading part of this month just one month in for me. It wasn't like I read, of course, because I'm a reader, but I didn't finish anything. And I hate that. Like I didn't finish anything, yeah. So yeah. And I was so excited about starting Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. And yeah, it's March 30th at 9:00 p.m. as I record this. And I'm just on chapter 3. I barely picked that book up. I was in, where my Kindle go? I was in my Kindle more. And then, of course, I had been reading, haven't talked about reading, that I have been reading Loved by You. In the middle of the book, when it started getting really, really good, Kindle Unlimited took my book. And no, it's not. I know it's not like a library book or whatever, or Libby or whatever. Some things didn't go through on my card, and the card that I had hooked up to was the card that didn't have the right funds on it. And in the middle of I was going back to the book one day, and then it was gone, and I was so mad. But anyway, we got that rectified. And so I got to go all the way back. I was like on chapter 20. No. I was on like chapter 33. I was almost done, literally. I was pissed. But I was like, okay, cool. I got so many books on here that I can read. I'm going to start another book because I have arcs that I haven't read. I don't know why I be playing with Nick Galley like that. And like, I want to be a serious arc reader girly and get done with all these books, because that's how I know these different publishing companies pay attention to you, and you getting these books out, these reviews out or whatever, and you reading these books. And yeah, I want to be that girly, but y'all, like I said, I'm in a strange mind frame right now. So I have like 100 and something books that I got from the Brave event. That was back in November. And what that was like the Black Readers, Romance Readers event that they had for a week, where you can go and get all types of free books from all types of indie authors. So I had the R&B series, 2 books from the R&B series by Olivia Linden on there. I have Lovers and Friends, and that's what I'm reading. And then I have the other one, which is, let me go to it. I have Lovers and Friends, and what's the other book, y'all? And I'm 46% on that one. I have Lovers and Friends. I forgot the other name. But I only have book 2 and 3. And I think Lovers and Friends is like book 2. And I know it, I think it's like interconnected or whatever. But I just see it. Out of all the books, Lovers and Friends is kind of like on the vibe of Loved by You, except for Vanessa, I think that's her name. Vanessa and Xavier in Loved by You, they was not friends with benefits. But these right here, they friends with benefit. Jay and Joey. And oh, it's so good. It's kind of on the same because it's like they, you know, been knowing each other. Both of them been knowing each other since college, and you know, it's different, but it's the same. And it was giving me the same vibes as Loved by You because I was really getting into Loved by You. So, but Lovers and Friends, it's not long. I think it only has 16 chapters in it. And I'm on chapter, what chapter am I on? Yeah, but it's so good. And what I like about this story is it goes from present time to their college freshman year where they first met. And it's a little spicy, a lot of spicy, but it's good. So that's what I've been reading on my Kindle. And that's mostly what I've been reading is Lovers and Friends. And they got a playlist, y'all. And the playlist is playlisting. It's real good. So I've been kind of in the slump though, like I said. So I've been reading Lovers and Friends. I finally got in the book that I was reading with the book club called Blue Sisters. The book is called Blue Sisters by Coco Mellis. Yeah. I got to page 4 and I just literally was uninterested. It sounds good because the people in the book club, they have finished it. And what I've heard about it is really good. It's about 4 sisters. One of the sisters passed away, and the other 3, remaining 3, they are just kind of going back down memory lane and going through grief. And then I think the book goes through these sisters' lives and what they are going through. So I guess maybe in their grieving process, and then this is sisters. So I finally got it in, and let's see when they said that I gotta give it back, because I'm debating if I'm going to recheck it out or just let it go until another time. Let's see. It says it's due back on the 10th of April, so I might keep it. I might get into it. I might get out of this crazy slump that I'm in. And then, like I said, I did not finish, and I might probably am going to take Yours Truly into April. Did not finish. I was supposed to read Take My Hand. Did not finish that as well. Yeah, I've been in this crazy. So, the beginning of the month, also, I was excited about it being Kidney Disease Awareness Month. And I also was excited about starting Yours Truly because the female main character's brother in Yours Truly is getting a transplant, a kidney transplant. That segues into another reason why I was so excited about this month. At the beginning of this month, I was going to get worked up in Alabama. I went on a road trip to Alabama, vlogged that and everything, and I'm going to post it later on, probably this week. Just haven't been feeling like it, but I went to Alabama to get worked up on their transplant list, to be put on their transplant list. And then you have to go through this whole evaluation process before you can even get on the list. it's a whole big extensive thing, because that's why they say that it is better for you to just already have a living donor, someone living, and someone that asks, but hey, who wants to go to somebody and say, hey, I need a kidney, can you give me one of yours? You got to. Like, I know you don't say it like that, but that's an awkward conversation to have, even with the closest of friends or family members. That's like an awkward conversation, because that's like you asking somebody to be cut on. You asking somebody to give you a part of them if their blood matches. You know what I'm saying? So they say it's better. So that's why if you are and you meet the many requirements, the many requirements. I'm sorry, my hair kind of long. It's touching my arm, and I'm like thinking something touching me. Anyway, but if you meet the several criteria of getting on the transplant list, and different hospitals have different criteria, but most of them are all the same. You can get on the transplant list in your city, as well as, I think it's like 50 to 250 miles away from you. So you can get in other cities too that are kind of around you. So I went to Alabama, and I'm going to try Arkansas, which is of course right across the bridge from me, because I'm in Memphis. And I also am getting evaluated to be put on the list in my city as well. So that kind of went, it was hopeful, I'm gonna say that. And I think I'll talk about the logistics in that in my next video. But to these books, child, I feel like March was just going and going and going. And I was like, it's still March. It's still March. And you would have think I would have been able to read all the books that I had, because I only had literally 1, 2, 3 books and 4 books, because my Kindle book, and I didn't finish none of them, because I just kind of started off strong, and then I kind of got in a slump towards the end of this month. And that goes to show you, everybody don't read at the same pace, and that's okay. It's a lot of people that I know, people that I watch on YouTube faithfully, that they read, like, they pushing out 5 to 6 books, 12 books, 16 books a month. And you don't have to do that. Like, as long as you're reading and you're enjoying what you read, it's okay. And so I had to kind of remind myself of that too, because you don't want to not love reading. Even though me, I don't think I'll ever not love reading, because that's just been me, like, forever. I've loved reading. Reading has been my love. I say I'm Belle. But, so I was going to try to keep up with this quarter, because like I said, I have 75 books I want to read this year. I want to, at least make it to reading before my 36th birthday. No, 75 books for the year, 36 before my 36th birthday. I have 5 months until my 36th birthday. Last year, I wanted to read 35 before my 35th birthday, and I did that. My birthday is in August. I was at 35 in June. So, hey, we're going to see if we can meet that goal. I'm at 9 books already. We're going to see if we can meet that goal or exceed that goal. And then we'll go from there. Like I said, if I reach 75 books this year, great. If I reach more, wonderful. But I'm not trying to be on nobody else's tail end, trying to compare or compete. I just love to read. So I'm gonna take it slow like I've done everything in my life. I take it slow. I'm different. You know, if I read one book a month, that's good too. But I really would like to meet that goal, at least the 36 books before my 36th birthday. So I might take a week or something and just kind of go through some of the books that I really want to get to. But I feel like I'm just going on and on. So that's my check-in for March and wrap up, which is a wrap up of I didn't finish none of my books. But that's okay because I read. I dabbled in one book. I dabbled in the other book. Oh yeah, I was reading Becoming. I was listening to that on audiobook. And Libby came and snatched that up real quick. I didn't even realize that my time was up with that. Libby just came and snatched that up. So I was kind of perturbed about that, but of course I can go back and get that if I want to. And so I think for April, I'm just gonna have some hopefuls again. These are not always, anyway. These are not always what I'm gonna read. These are always hopefuls, and I was hopeful for those books last month, and so this month in April, well, it's not April yet, it's March 30th. We're gonna hope for some more books. So I thought it would be fun to get you guys to pick out some books with me. I already picked out a couple books, but I wanted to kind of give a slight little tour of my inspirational bookshelf and pick a book or two from there, as well as pick a book from my tall bookshelf and maybe my small bookshelf. And I think I'm going to table yours truly until I get, because I put in a request for the audio book. I want to immersively read that. I also put in a request for the audio book for Take My Hand. So I think I'm going to table them and until I get the audiobooks, and you never know when I get them, so those just might be a pop-up surprise, and I might just have to stop reading whatever I'm reading so I can go ahead and read those. But I think that I like the concept of immersively reading because I can always read. So I'm in my car reading, I'm cooking reading, or I can sit down with the physical book in my hand. So I like that concept. So I think I'm gonna table those two and pick something else. I'm picking off of my shelf because I need to read them books off my shelf. And if the 36 books before I turn 36 come from my bookshelves, that will be great too, because I need to read them books, y'all. But yeah, and because I haven't been reading much, well, I have been reading, but I haven't finished none. I have started listening to podcasts, and I like podcasts. Like, I don't watch TV much. My consumption of media, television media, consists of YouTube and maybe Netflix sometimes, and a little Tubi if I'm feeling jazzy, because they have all the old shows. So I found, when I was getting my hair braided, the girl who braided my hair, she had put it on this podcast called The Leader's Cut, with Pastor, I think his name is Preston, and with Tim Ross. They're like best friends, and they just talk about all these Christian principles and all these subjects surrounding like Christian principles and just how to deal with life. The very first one that she was showing, they were talking about the importance of a divine friendship and finding friendship that friends with people that are like-minded and of course are Christian. And I love that so much that when it was over, I was in my phone. I don't even think she saw me. I was in my phone just like, let me see, the leader's cut. And then Preston, he says that his reasoning for calling it the leader's cut is for the gospel or God's unadulterated word to cut you through your flesh, not to hurt you, but to bring you more through Christ. And I just, something like that, but I just like, listen, some of the subjects that I have been listening to, like, was just everything. So in the middle of me reading, not reading my books or putting my books down, I have been listening to their podcast, and the one that I listened to tonight while I was cooking was so good. It was talking about triggers. Yeah. So if you are into podcasts, that's one of the top, and you're a Christian, or you just like good information, godly information, good advice on life, how to deal with it. The Leader's Cut by Preston, and I forgot his name. I forgot his last name, but his first name is Preston. And then Tim Ross is on there as well. Tim Ross has a book out as well. I think it came out last year. It's called, oh, I ain't got my other phone with me. I'm just so unprepared. But in my next clip, I'll let y'all know the name of the book that Tim Ross has out. But yeah, they're great to listen to. So yeah, I've been listening to that too. And of course, I watch my YouTube, my favorite YouTube people, my favorite booktube people, of course, Brandy. I watch her faithfully every Wednesday and Sunday. I love Kayla's Bookish Vibes. I love Shaughnessy. She's the one who got me into watching BookTube. I love Chocolate Covered Pages. Her name is Kiana. My name is Kiana. So we kind of like twins, you know. So I love watching her BookTube as well. Yolanda's books. I just absolutely love Anita's library. She's just so sweet and humble, as well as I love reading over reality. So yeah, I be watching. Look at me name throwing, like, because I be watching these people like every day. I'm sitting up trying to see what they coming out with next. It's a couple more, but my brain counter. Those are some of my most watched people, but yeah. So in my next clip, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do a little mini tour of my spiritual development and personal development bookshelf, and we are going to pick out a book or two from those genres. I already picked out some hopefuls, and I'm going to decide for those hopefuls. And then we're just going to go to my main bookshelf and maybe my smaller little floor bookshelf and pick out a book or two from there. But before we do that, yeah, I told you I was in a slump. I told you I was feeling some kind of way this month. So I kind of went, I'm a book girl at heart. I really am. So I kind of went to Ollie's. I wasn't finna go to Barnes and Noble or one of my local bookstores, because those books, I don't. I'm trying to save money, and I have to read the books that's on my shelf. But I wanted to, you if you're a real book person, you know the feeling, the euphoria you get from even looking at books. Just going to the book section in a store that has a book section, You know the feeling of euphoria you get. So I went to Ollie's because, of course, their books are cheaper. And I spent some time today looking at the books. Yeah, my basket was so full. I was like, girl, you don't need this. You do not need all these books. But I did narrow them down to a few books. So, mini book haul time. So these are a mixture of mostly spiritual development books. I got one book, never heard of this author, but it sounded good. And then I got a journal. So the first book I got was is Paul, Apostle of Christ, the novelization of the major motion picture. And all I had to see was it is a major motion picture. So I might look this up so I can watch it. And then Paul, Apostle of Christ. So this is about Paul, and we know that Paul in the Bible is very essential, and he wrote most of the New Testament. A couple of books in the New Testament. Not a Bible pusher, not a Bible scholar, but I do know some of the Bible. So it just says his story would change the world, but only if it's shared in time. Paul, Apostle of Christ, is the story of two men. Luke, as a friend and physician, risks his life every time he ventures into the city of Rome to visit Paul, who is held captive in Neo. But yeah, I'm sorry, my eyes kept getting kind of messed up. But bleakest person cell. So this is about when Paul was in jail. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but so I thought this was really good, and it was only $3.99. Paul, the Apostle of Christ, and like I said, spiritual development was one of my first genres that I really love to read, and it's a book. It's a genre that I'm always gonna go back to, and I'm always gonna now that I'm older, I love to read more into the people and things of the Bible, in the Bible. And I'm going to do a whole video of all the spiritual development and personal development books that I do have. But this Paul, Apostle of Christ, and then I just thought this would be perfect because Paul, Apostle of Christ. So the practical insights for everyday Christian living, Philippians. So by Joyce Meyer. I love Joyce Meyer. I love all her books. I have a few on my shelf already. And I have the one where she talks about Proverbs, in search of wisdom. And that's just breaking down the book of Proverbs. And then this one is Philippians. And we know that Paul wrote Philippians. Just what I needed. Just like, I thought they went perfect together. And so, this is $3.99. And so it just says, Paul's letter to the people at Philippi serves as a reminder that if we search for joy in possessions, places, or people, we will always come up short. True, lasting joy comes only through faith in Jesus Christ, living in peace and serving others in the name of Christ. So I was excited. It's a hardback, and I don't really just like hardbacks like this. But where can you go to get a hardback for $3.99? Nowhere. So I had to get it. Yeah, the original price on this book is $20. I got it for $3.99. It could not stay there. And watch when I go back in Ollie's, they're gonna have the paperback copy, but I figured I needed this. So when I do my study in Philippians, I believe that this is going to be great to coincide in reading in the Bible and reading these two. And then I got a book that I never heard of this author. Her name is Amy T. Matthews. But when I read the back and read the synopsis, I was intrigued. This seems like it's gonna be an emotional book, and I might cry because I cry on books like this. But it's called Someone Else's Bucket List. So basically, it's about a girl who has leukemia. She passes away, but she leaves this secret Instagram where she's made these secret posts for her older sister, who is already an influencer, to not only read, but it's like a bucket list for living her best life. Because of course the girl, her name is Jody, because of course Jody had leukemia, so she couldn't live out these things. So she left this secret bucket list for her sister to live out for her. And I just thought that was so intriguing. And I can't wait to dive into this. I don't know if I'm going to dive into it in April or if I'm going to dive into it in May. But it's called Someone Else's Bucket List by Amy T. Matthews. And I got that for $3.99 as well. And it brought me so much joy, y'all. And then I just bought a journal. Walk by faith, not by sight, 2 Corinthians. And yes, I have so many notebooks, so many journals. But I'm about to go on a 40-day journey with my church. And I want to document it all in here. This is just going to be specifically for that 40-day fast that I'm about to do with my church that's starting at 12 a.m. So I am going to be documenting that in here, and I love it. I love to read and write. That's my jam. I love it, love it, love it. So I love the little gold forward edges. This is just the right amount of lining of paper I like. I love the little crosses that it has at the end of each page. So yeah, it's cute. I have bought a lot of books from Ollie's. I'm talking about a lot of notebooks from Ollie's. Yeah, and that's where mostly I get them from, and I'll be like $2.99, $3.99. So, and this one was $3.99. And so, yeah, this one is going to be used, and it's hardback. It's so cute. These are good to get just for gifts to people, especially young girls or anybody that you're trying to encourage to write out their, journal out their feelings. These are good to give them. But so yeah, that's what I got for that. But now, in my next clip, rather, we are going to finally do the little mini bookshelf tour along with picking out my April hopefuls. Be right back. Okay, so we're over here at my small inspirational and personal development bookshelf. This right here, I love this. I did this for Valentine's Day, but I've kept it because I love hearts. Hearts is my thing. And I have my name here, Gracefully Books. And this is designated to be my little holder or my hopefuls or TBR bucket, or as you will, whatever you want to call it. And so, of course, we have already in it. Oh, this is my little bear. I love it. My dad gave me that one Valentine's Day. So we have in it Take My Hand. And let me see, what page did I stop on here? I was on chapter 2. So we're going to keep that in the TBR bucket or whatever. And I always like to do my bookmarks. I like to have them kind of match the vibe of the book. And then I have in here, okay, little bear, you're going to have to hold up. These are just some books, like some ones that I was thinking about. They are a mix between personal development. Some of them are not. Well, no, I don't have any of the spiritual development. When I get down on the floor, we go through there. Then we'll read that. So, hold on. We're gonna put it on me for a minute. Okay, so in my box, I had this book called Your Money or Your Life, Transforming Your Relationship with Money and Achieving Financial Independence. It's by Joe Dominguez. Sorry if I messed it up. And Vicki Robbins. So this is a very old book. I actually got this book at a library bookstore. Forget how much I paid for it. I think I paid for like $5 or something. It's old because you can see how the pages are yellowed out and stuff. But I'm on a journey of learning financial freedom, independence, and all of that too, and how to budget my money in, you know, all the things. So this book says, does money own you? There's a big difference between making a living and making a life. Okay? So I just want to, this is one of the things I want to read or help myself with. And it's part of course, personal development for the month. So it says get out of debt and develop savings, reorder material priorities, and live well for less. And it has a lot of other list of things. So I was thinking about this, reading this month. It just has a lot of practical ways in it. It's 345 pages. I was thinking about this one. And this is another financial book that I have called Holistic Wealth. So this one is kind of like on the Christian way. And this is the expanded and updated version. I got this book a couple of years ago as well. It says 30 life lessons to help you recover from disruption, find your life purpose, and achieve financial freedom. I got this book like a year or two after my mom passed. That's when I really started spiraling in, I wouldn't say money problems, but it was like, it's like, hold up, let me put y'all back a little bit. Because I feel like y'all all up in my business. All in my little face. But it was more like, when my mom was here, I didn't have to worry about, you know, if I didn't have it, she had it. And now that she's gone, I know I have to be a little more tight on the ranges of my money. And it's kind of been like a shock to the system because it's really just me and me alone dealing with, well, not alone, but you know, because I have family if I need anything. But I want to be a big girl, you know. I don't want to have to always go to them for something. So this book here I got, like I said, like a year or two after she passed. This is by Keisha Blair. And of course, I suffered a major life disruption by losing my mom, my best friend. So, and I think I've already found my life purpose, but it's always good to read about digging deeper and finding your life purpose and how you want to be perceived and how you want God to use you to help somebody else. So, through your purpose. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, it sounds like it's a storm supposed to come. So, I'm going to dive into one of my books tonight, probably one of my Kindle books. But this book looks pretty good. So, this might be one of my money So I'm going to do 2 personal development books this month, or try to. My money personal development and then a regular personal development. Don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. These are all hopefuls. But this is what I want to start with. So this just has a lot of good practical ways and ways of with self-improvement during in the spiritual self-renewal and all that stuff. So I might do this, or I might do this one, or I might do the older one. And then we have, I guess I haven't learned that yet, Discovering New Ways of Living When the Old Ways Stop Working by Shauna Nequist. I don't know. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. But this also came out a couple of years ago. And I got it as soon as it came out. Never read it. It says, I guess I haven't learned that yet. Gentle loving. This tender book asks us to listen to our pain, lean into our discomfort, and trust that we can be lifted back on our feet by God and each other. This book here is another book that kind of like I said, I'm on a journey. I tell people I'm 35, but I'm just now growing up because of the way, how close I was with my mom. So I'm 35, but I'm just now really growing up. I'm trying to position y'all right. I just don't. I'm sorry, okay? And so this, too, looks like it helps you with going through loss and going through just trying to do things different than you've always done it. Because the old way, not always going to work. And you keep doing the same thing. Like they say, you keep doing the same thing over and over. And it's not producing good results, or you are getting the same results, then what you doing with this? That's insanity. So this book here is really good. And my pastor said one Sunday, he said something really good. He was like, people who write personal development books, they making the money because they just keep writing it and writing the stuff, and they really writing the same thing. Everybody writing about the same thing of what you should do. You just need to do it. That's how they make the money out of you. He might be right, but I like reading about it because some people, they don't always be saying the same thing, especially if you're not reading a book from a real true Christian. But I might read this one. This might go in my bucket, back in the bucket. And then this is one that's going to help me on my business side. So this is personal development. This book here, some of my business partners read this back, I think a year or so ago. I felt like not only had I been lagging in reading, I've been lagging in my business as well. And my business came into my life 3 years ago, and it really has helped me. I just kind of get a little lazy sometimes with it, but I really don't want to stop it. God has not released me from it. So I want to be able to be the best that I can be in my business. One, because I'm in a humble sis, don't want to clock in to somebody else's job and help somebody else make money for the rest of my life. I want to be able to own my time where I can go and read when I want, how I want. Yes, Lord. And just enjoy life. I'm single, no children, and I should be able to enjoy life. And I believe that through my business, I'm going to be able to do this. But, of course, you got to work. You can't be scared, and you got to make some fearless moves. So, that goes into the book that I want to read. I am going to read this book. This is one of my April books. It's called Chase the Lion. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's too small, by Mark Batterson. Sometimes you just gotta be reminded of your dream, why you started something, and why you don't need to stop it. So this here is gonna be a great reminder. And it's coming from, and see, I had read it because I got some highlights in here, but I just stopped it. I'm bad on starting stuff and not finishing, but I'm gonna finish this book. So it says, chase the lion, change the world. And this was a whole saying by Mark Batterson. And it's just gonna remind me of my dream and why I started my business. And I can't wait to dive into this and finish it. So those are the books that I have set to the side, kind of trying to decide on it. Oh, y'all see my little bucket of my, I love hearts, as you can tell. And this was a plant back in February, but I use it for holding my bookmarks now. So we're gonna scooch on down to the floor. We're gonna do a mini bookshelf tour. And then, we're gonna pick out what we are, a couple more books, and then we're gonna let that be that. Because the rain is coming, I hear it, and where I live, it kind of gets a little, the lights might pop out because I live out in the outskirts, but here we go. So on this bookshelf we have, let's see, I don't know how much to show y'all. I tried, yeah, I didn't get no sleep last night. I went to sleep like 4 o'clock in the morning. I kind of rearranged this bookshelf. So on the top we have all of my spiritual development. I have some Christian romance. Then on the bottom I have some personal development, as well as, you know, some more Christian fiction books, and then some devotionals. Then on the very bottom here, I just have like miscellaneous books and books that I'm probably gonna give away. So let's just boop, boop, boop. Okay, don't be silly, Kiana. So here we go. Can y'all see it? I hope y'all can. So, Redeeming Love. I'm not gonna read this again because I have read Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. Y'all, and I read it in, I don't know, do y'all want to see me too? So I read Redeeming Love in audiobook last year. It was one of the last books that I read last year. This book was so good, and it kind of like brought real love in full circle, in perspective. Yeah, this was so good, but I don't want to read it no more. I mean, not no more, but not yet again, but I loved it. And it was out of the book of Hosea. And then there's another book by Francine Rivers that I have called A Lineage of Grace. 5 stories of unlikely women who change eternity. I don't know if y'all hear the rain or not, but it's coming down outside. So we gotta do this quick. But that one, I don't know if I want to do that because that's pretty thick. And then let's see. Oh, I have Forgiving What You Can't Forget by Lisa Turkers. I love her. I actually have a devotional that I'm going through. It's a 50 devotionals, morning and evening, that I'm going through, called You're gonna make it. Love it, love it, love it. But I don't think I want to read that. So, I have a book that's called Sharon Jane, by Sharon Jane, called Enough, Silencing the Lies That Steal Your Confidence. I have, I've read this one before, but I always love to go back to it, called Letting God Meet Your Emotional Needs. I might need to read this again. So it just helps you when you just going through those emotional times. I might need to read that again. Then I have a woman after God's own heart. Woman after God's heart. And I have the workbook to go with that. Then I have The Woman God Created You to Be. Finding Success Through Faith, Spiritually, Personally, and Professionally. This might be a contender for this month. It's giving me all three: spiritual, personal, and professional development. I might need to leave this out. Okay? And then, there's just more spiritual development books. Like I said, I love the spiritual development. It's one of my faves. I have Kingdom Women by Priscilla Shire and Tony Evans. You know, it's a Kingdom Man book, and there's a Kingdom Woman book. Then I have Faith in It by Cora Jakes Coleman. This is one of Bishop T.D. Jakes' daughters. I'm gonna fight for your faith. I'm gonna leave this one out because, like I said, I am doing a 40-day fast with my church, so that might be good for that. Then I have Pastor Michael Todd. I have the study guide and the book to relationship goals. But baby, we're not studying relationships right now, so we're gonna put that up. I'm not even in a relationship, so we're gonna put that one up. Then I have Crazy Faith. Now I had started reading this when I first got it a while back, so we're gonna take this out to that's a contender. Then we have, oh, look at here. I was looking for that book last night. Let me get it. So I also have a book. I also have a few books of some people who, local people I know, who wrote books, as well as just local books. And I have been looking for this book. This person here, this guy here, his name is Artavius. I personally know him. He is a kidney transplant warrior. He actually got his kidney the year that I went back on dialysis 20 years ago. We went to the same hospital as kids. We have collabed as adults. I was in, because he's an artist. He's a creative artist in the city of Memphis. And he has his own magazine called the Artist Magazine. And he featured me in his magazine last year in November. I'm so grateful for that, because of course we know I wrote a book too. But this is his book called Becoming a Living Testimony by Artavius Veazey. Yeah. Good book. His testimony is so real. When I tell you his testimony, it's everything, because his mom actually had a transplant as well. I don't know if it was the same year he had one, but his mom has had her kidney for like, I know y'all heard it rhyme, and it sound like hell. It's really coming down out there. So let's go. Then I got my girl Feeding the Soul, Tabitha Brown, and then I Did a New Thing. But we are not going to read those this month. Then I have Woman Evolve. Then I got some more of. Ooh, it scared me.
It's coming down out there.
I'm on a video. I'm making a video. Oh Lord, I gotta edit that out. Okay. Then we got Be Anxious for Nothing. How to Age Without Getting Old. Yeah, Joyce Meyer. And some Joel Osteen. The Power of Favor. The Force That Would Take You Where You Can't Go on Your Own. That's a contender for this month as well. Yeah. So those are my spiritual development books. And then I have The Forge. I went and got this book as soon as it came out. Have not seen, well, I watched the movie. So good. Have not read the book. But I don't think I want to read it right now. It's about being a disciple. So when I get into the disciple group in my church, I think I'm going to do that one. Though I stumble, I've read that. These are all my books. I'm just going to show y'all these because it is coming down out there. I'll show y'all the rest of my small bookshelf when I get a chance. Now we're going to go to my middle bookshelf. Well, I think I'm going to do that on my own, and then once I pick all that out, I'll come back and let y'all know what I've picked out for the month of April, and then we'll go from there. See y'all in a minute. Okay, I'm back. The storm has subsided. It has went down a lot. I think I got a little too overzealous, but that's why we call them hopefuls. So we might not read all these, but I would like to read these in April. I have a total of 8 physical books. Then of course I have a few on my Kindle, a couple on my Kindle, and some audiobooks I would like to read. Yeah, I did not know that you could read the audiobooks on your Kindle. And I was just looking through my Kindle. One of the books I was about to buy, Ollie's, I could get it for free on my Kindle to listen to. A Joyce Meyer book, Unshakable Faith. So that might be one of my audiobooks that I read this month. But let's go through this real quick because I'm ready to go and get ready for bed. And I got a lot of editing to do. So yeah, I can get a video, at least one video out from me for the month of March. I'm gonna do better, yeah. So, of course, like I said, we have spiritual development. We got a mixture of a lot of things in this pile. Spiritual development, professional development, spiritual development, and professional development all together. And then we have, I figured I wanted to finish 2 books that I started and didn't finish. So I have books that I started, hadn't finished. And I got a new to me author, but she's not new to everybody, but she's new to me. And I have 2 of her books, and this is one of the books I'm going to read this month from her. Then I'm still on the fence about Blue Sisters, if I'm going to read it or if I'm going to give it back. Because the book of the month for this month, still haven't got my hands on it yet. I mean, for April is Their Perfect Ruins or Her Perfect Ruins by Shannara Williams. So I don't even know if I'm gonna read that yet or not. But here we go. Of course, going to get into Chase the Lion by Mark Batterson. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's too small. Gotta get back to my why. And then I picked Holistic Wealth by Keisha Blair. It's gonna help me in my journey that I'm on with restoring a good relationship with money. And then I picked for the spiritual, personal development, professional development, all three of those together. I picked Kimberly Lawson. Roby, The Woman God Created You to Be, Finding Success Through Faith, Spirituality, spiritually, personally, and professionally. So I picked that one. And like I said, y'all, these are hopefuls. We don't know what I'm gonna get through. And I picked Faith in It, Fight for Your Faith by Cora Jakes Coleman. We get the thing, we walking in faith. And I just felt, I picked these two because I felt that they were aligned with the 40-day fast that I'm going on with my church. And like I said, I don't know yet if I'm going to finish the Blue Sisters or just give it back and try again another time. Then, for the two books that I'm going to try to get to and finish, that I've read and just stopped, is one, The Thing About Home. And this was a good book, y'all. It was so good. By Rhonda McKnight, and I have Bitter and Sweet by her too. And I can't read Bitter and Sweet if I haven't finished this. So, and let's see where I ended up on this one. Chapter 15. So I might read a little on the beginning just to refresh myself, but I remember. But I'm gonna try to get through with this. Chapter 15, The Thing About Home. And then another book that I did not finish that I was loving, but I just tabled it, me being me, is When I Think of You by Maya Ariel. And I gotta get through this book because her second book comes out on the 4th of April. And I haven't finished this one. So, and I want to get that one. And I had the arc for the second book. Don't ask. So, I was on page 172 with that. So I'm about 50, I was about 50, more than 50% finished with this book. So hopefully finish this month so I can get to a new book. And then the book that's new to me, author, been on my shelf for a long time, and I have another book by her, is Tracy Brown book, Twisted. I just saw that it's at Barnes & Noble one day and just got it. Never read anything from her. And I just went ahead and put this in there. But Twisted by Tracy Brown. Brown takes readers on an emotional roller coaster ride as thrilling that you may not want to get off until you finish the book. I might want to go on an emotional roller coaster ride. This is an urban fiction. And I want to get in the urban fiction bag. Maybe this will give me a little pump to keep going, keep reading. Yeah. So I guess it's like a urban thriller romance. I don't know, but excited to get into it. Then I also have her last book. I think last book before she passed, because she is passed. She passed, I don't know what year she did, but is Brooklyn. And I gotta get into that because I heard that was really good as well. Those are the physical books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 physical books. Then on my Kindle, like I said, I got to finish Lovers and Friends because it's so good. So good. I am 48% on page 110 on Lovers and Friends. I might finish through a reading vlog with this one to finish it up. And then I want to go into finish reading Love by You. I was on chapter 16. So I'm just going to skip to go all the way back because I remember where I was at. And it was getting real good. And I was so mad they took that book from me. But anyway, I got it back. So then I have some other library reads on here that I might get to. I have the Reformatory. I don't know if I'm in the right mind frame for something like that. I don't know. Then I have the Let Them theory. I got that book from the library. I might read that. Then this might be the month that I get into my fantasy bag because I got When the Moon Hatched library book. Might get it, might read it, might not. Then for my audiobooks that I have on here that I want to read, that I might get to, is Unshakable Faith by Joyce Myers. Yeah, I just seen the book and had it in the cart and then put it back at Alice today. And then that's why I put it back, because I was like, I think I can get that from the library. But no, I literally have it on my Kindle. Then I might read the 80-20 Sales and Marketing for My Business, or the 1 Week Budget. That's the audiobook. Or Will. Brandy talked about Will. She said that was a good audiobook, so I might listen to that. And I have a couple arcs on here too. This one in particular I cannot find, but yeah, I might. And this one that's coming out very soon. So yeah, that's all on my Kindle, but I'm gonna get finished with Lovers and Friends by Olivia Linden this week. I don't know if I'm gonna do a reading vlog or I might just come back and do a wrap up on that one, because it's good. I think I can predict the outcome, but I don't know. They usually be the same with the Lovers and Friends. Lovers, the enemies, not the enemies to lovers, the friends to lovers. And that's one of my favorite tropes. And the second chance romance is my favorite trope as well. But yeah, that's my April hopefuls. Hopefully I get out this funk, this slump. It's not a slump, I would say, because I'm reading, I'm just not finishing anything. Like, nothing's keeping my attention. So hopefully I can be able to at least finish books that I've already started. Yeah, and April be a good reading month, because March started off high, ended mid. Like I said, I tabled yours truly and take my hand until my books come, or till the audiobooks come in, so I can immersively read those. And yeah, if I don't read those books, we never know. I have a whole bunch of books I can pick through. And one day, we don't know when, so don't quote me on it. One day, we're gonna do a full book tour, and I do have the app that you can put your books in inventory, count how many books you have. So one day I might do that with you all, so we can see how many books do I actually have on hand, and kind of put them all in inventory, so I can know what is what. But this is the end. This comes to the end of my video. Thank you all for watching, coming back watching. If you are a returning watcher, or not watcher, but viewer. And if this is your first time watching my video, you see I'm a little all over the place, but hey, this is me, and I'm doing the book thing that I love. So if this is your first time watching, please consider coming back and watching Gracefully Key Read. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to push that notification button so you can know when I post next. If you have read any of the books that I was supposed to read in March, let me know. Let me know how you liked it. If you have read any of the books that I'm going to hopefully get to in April, let me know how you liked it. And talk to me, y'all. Let me know you're here. Thank you all again for watching. And until next time, bye.